Alright, so in this video we're going to start learning about the different types of quadrilaterals that we're going to be responsible for in geometry. And this picture is kind of like a taxonomy that shows how the different quadrilaterals are related. So a lot of these words should be familiar, like you've obviously heard of a rectangle and a square. Trapezoid shouldn't be a new shape. Isosceles trapezoid. Now that we know what isosceles means from triangles, we can probably figure out some stuff about this trapezoid here. A kite you guys have probably seen before, parallelograms also. All right, but so these shapes should all be reviewed, but now we're going to kind of talk about how they're related to each other and how their properties are related. All right, so this is like the quadrilateral family tree. So all of these things are quadrilaterals. They all fall underneath the quadrilateral. Now, this one right here, the kite, is the only one off on this side because the kite has no parallel sides. Parallel meaning they don't touch or they have the same slope. And so this little line right here, I leave it dotted because there are no parallel lines in a kite. Now, the next family, this pink family coming down, they have one line connecting them. Because trapezoids have one set of parallel sides. Like on this one, it's this side and this side. And on this side, and this side. Something else that's cool about isosceles trapezoids, isosceles triangles mean that two of the sides are equal. So on isosceles trapezoids, two of the sides are equal. The two sides that aren't parallel are equal to each other. All right, so that's the trapezoid family. In the parallelogram family, I have two lines connecting because in the parallelogram family, there are two sets of parallel sides. That's parallel to that, and this one is parallel to this one. And that's the same for all of these. All of these figures, everything in the parallelogram family, has two sets of parallel sides. There are some other kind of cool things in the parallelogram family, and we're going to put up a picture of all of the different properties of these shapes, and I'm actually going to have one of them put on the website as well so that you can print them and have them. But for instance, a rectangle, actually all parallelograms stuff in the family, the opposite sides are equal to each other. So like this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side. Parallelograms and rectangles are kind of related. A parallelogram is kind of like a rectangle that's leaning over a little bit. And squares and rhombuses are kind of related because a rhombus is like a square that's leaning over a little bit. So the cool thing about squares is that all four sides are equal. That's also true about a rhombus. All four sides are equal, but because it's leaning over a little bit, now all of a sudden the angles aren't 90 degrees anymore. They're 90 degrees in a square, but they're not in a rhombus. All right, so let's just really quickly look at the properties. So all quadrilaterals have four sides and four angles. The inside angles always make 360. The outside angles always make 360, and there's two diagonals. But then you can see that like some of these have special properties. So let me just make sure that I could talk about the symbols that you might not get. Adjacent sides are congruent in a kite. So that means the two sides that are touching, so like in a kite, oh, didn't mean to move that. Hang on. And get this to stop. Of course I can't. All right, so if I drew a kite really quick, when I say adjacent sides are congruent, I mean this side and this side are congruent, and this side and this side are congruent. The diagonals are, what does this symbol mean? It means perpendicular. So if I draw in the diagonals, they're going to make a 90-degree angle because that's what perpendicular means. Let's see, some other symbols that you might not. This one, SSI, says same side interior angles are supplementary. All right, so if I draw a rhombus, same side interior angles. So this angle and this angle together make 180. That's what supplementary means. This symbol right here means parallel. So opposite sides are parallel. This side's parallel to that. This side is parallel to that. So like I said, this document is going to be available on the website. And you can use this to help you find all the properties of the different quadrilaterals.